Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're working on this old Siku Ford Transit van. Now this is a Mark 1 and as you can see it was painted over because originally it would have been all light blue, and it has those panoramic windows on the roof similar to the Volkswagen T1 bus, and the door that is open on this video, it's open because it just won't shut. I tried everything, but something is bent and it won't shut. So there you can see it again. This one is from the same lot where I also got the Alfa Montreal from. So it's all a little filthy and greasy. And I actually did this already in the summer. This is like finished since half a year and I just didn't get around to edit it. So as you can see, the other door opens and closes perfectly, but the driver's side door just won't close. And the rest of the model is actually in not bad shape. It's quite a nice model and should not be too hard except for this little door. So let's just drill it apart there. This model just has one rivet and it is hooked in the back. So that way they don't have a post sticking through the interior. Not like modern Mattel cars that do all have those ugly posts that completely ruin the entire car. So this should get apart right now. So this is the base. This is actually quite big, this car. This is 1/60 scale, but it's true scale, so it's a little bigger than your average Matchbox car, because if you have ever seen a real transit, especially the long wheelbase version, which we have here, is a little bigger. And this one has a camper interior. Now I'm not sure if this is a version that was available as a real van, because I know there are versions of the Transit with those panoramic windows on the roof and also with the one in the middle of the roof, but those are all the smaller short wheelbase Transits, and I haven't found a picture of a long wheelbase Transit with those windows in there, except one that however was a little different and could have been a custom too, so I'm not sure, but maybe there are also just no pictures of it on the web, because I imagine they might be quite rare nowadays. So if you know anything about that, feel free to tell me. So I'm just trying to get the wheels out there, and yeah, the front axle should be out. Those wheels are actually in quite good shape, and I didn't reuse them on this project because I needed them for another project, and because that was a restoration and will probably come up very soon. It's a Mustang Mark 1 by Siku also, and on this one I used the wheels from the Mustang, which are essentially the same, just that those were in worse shape and more suitable for custom. So I'm just putting this on in there, and then I'm pouring the caustic soda in there, and this is out of the caustic soda, and I already filled in the holes in the roof there. And this is how I repaired the door, because I tried to bend it, then it broke, so I stuck a paper clip in it and put some nice glue on there, and later I sanded it all back so that it opens and closes nicely again. So now the car is ready for painting, and the holes that I closed on the roof were for a roof rack with a boat on there, but as you could imagine, those boats are all missing, and this one was of course no exception. And yeah, this interior is definitely not going to stay orange. As you can see, there's a nice little kitchen in there and a table, and it's a nice model. And yeah, this is how I repaired the doors. Can't see anything about it now anymore, partly because I'm too stupid to let the camera focus. There you go. Yeah, I think it's quite a nice repair. Turned out quite good. And it's also quite stable, because that's probably the hardest part on this door, because you can glue it, but you need to glue it in order to be stable, that if you open the door it doesn't break immediately. And I probably won't reuse this windshield because I hate blue windshields. So now I'm just painting it. I paint it in a light blue. It's a special light blue, like with a little smoky tint in there, if you know what I mean. It's not visible very well on camera. On there it just looks like the original light blue, but it's like a smoky blue. And I couldn't find any pictures of Transit Panorama vans there with long wheelbase, so I picked a short wheelbase one and took one of the original color combinations for the Panorama van with the short wheelbase, because I don't know if it ever existed in the long wheelbase, but I could well imagine that there were very few of them, and so that it's not documented very well in the internet. And after this coat of paint, I'm going to mask it off all up from the windows and make it like a two-tone paint job with cream white on top, because that's how they came out back then, because I think most of the Panorama vans were two-tone, and this is where we got it now. I really like the color combination on this one, and now I made new windows with a heat gun. This is the top section. Yeah, it's in two parts. And then I'm going to glue this in with some Humbrol, no, not Humbrol glue, Revell glue actually. And this is only, they didn't turn out that well, but I think I'm quite happy with them, and it's still 1,000,000 times better than the original blue glass, because that would have just looked horrible with the white blue two-tone job with those dark blue windows. That would have not looked good. And now I'm just going to paint this interior, because as you can imagine I don't want an orange interior. I'm painting this tan color. It's actually quite tricky to get everywhere with the paint on this one, because it's like a puzzle there to get the paint everywhere. But I got there in the end. And now our restoration is completed. So this is what we started with. Not looking too bad, but definitely far from looking good. And yeah, it felt quite disgusting and it was all dirty. And this is where we ended up now. Well, I really like how it turned out. I really like it. Well, there are a couple imperfections on it that I don't like so much, like the rear window is sometimes looks a little strange because I got some glue on there. But other than that, I quite like it. Also, the wheels are the same as the original ones, just that I took some in worse condition to save the print on the original ones, and then I painted them out with white paint, and then I took a nail and cut off the head, like a nail with a real nice round head, and cut it off and glued it on there so that it looks like a hubcap. And I think this looks quite nice, especially for just being a normal wheel and nothing premium or something like that. So it's a very cheap method of making those wheels a little more attractive, and I'm quite happy with that. And I also painted up all the details on the front, and yeah, you can see the door on the side doesn't shut properly. There's too much play in there. Well, German engineering, I guess. And yeah, I really like it. And if you like it too, consider subscribing. Also, you can write a comment or check out some of my other videos. And if you want to contribute to this channel or send me something, or just contact me, because you need something, just shoot me an email and it's in the description. So that's all for now, and see you next time.